It's Mark Pires, and it's Renaissance Man. I'm here to ease my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's daily variety show Mark Pires Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1319 in a row of the Renaissance Man Show. We're going to get into it just like we do every single day, fam and friends. So make sure you smack that screen and you share. This is going to be 10 to 15 minutes of real estate market updates. We're just going over what I'm seeing here. I'm a real estate agent by day. I am the Renaissance Man for 1319 days in a row. Longest running daily variety show on planet Earth. But during the day, I am a realtor. That's how I make a living. So if you didn't know that, if you've seen me for the last 3 years putting on these clips, comedy, live music, and truth rants, just remember that I am also a real estate agent by day. That's actually my trade. And what I'm going to start doing most likely is a daily real estate market update here at about 11 o'clock, 11:30 in the morning. If I can. If it's earlier, it's later, I don't know. But every day I'm going to do a market update for you guys and see if I can help you through this changing market that we're in. You know, everyone's questioning, are we out of this pandemic real estate market? Has the market dropped? We're going to talk about that today. I think it's interesting how buyers are perceiving the current market, how sellers are looking at it, and we're going to just try to take a closer look and see who's got it right. Yesterday we looked at the graph. We're going to pull that graph up in a moment and a few other stories here so we can see what the overall consensus of the market is out there. I think people are just hearing a lot of fake information, and they're hearing a lot of I would say fear-mongering from the media about how the market shifted. It hasn't yet. It depends on where you are in the country. But realistically, what's happening is there's a slide, yes. Houses that were trading much higher a few months ago are now trading for closer to what's a normal average. You're not seeing as many bidding wars, but it's because of false information. Did you guys know that today, right now, your rates, if you were to buy a home, are lower than they were from April 13th through July 30th? July 15th, something like that. I'm going to show you that on the graph here. But 5 days ago, we were 4.99%. What's crazy is we had this massive bump, right, from the Fed, 0.75 basis points. It did nothing except actually cause the real estate mortgage rates to recede. It's a beautiful thing. But when you don't know about that and you're a buyer and you're saying, oh my goodness, it's over, real estate's going to drop, you have to look at the information that you're being told and then also look at the data. So let's do that real quick. If you guys are here on TikTok, head over to YouTube. Just right under my photo, you'll see the link. And let's get into this. There's a couple of stories here. This is the 30-year fixed mortgage rate average in the United States over the last 20 years. We're going to get into it. Oh, Zabrowski! We get our woohoo before we get into the show. Zabrowski, can you hit TikTok and YouTube with a woohoo and Facebook? Was it good, guys? Did you get it? I got it. LinkedIn's with us today, too, guys. We're here on lots of platforms every single day. I don't really acknowledge all of them, Twitch, DLive, but I love you all, whoever's in there tuning in. We are on TikTok Live as well, and this is a real estate market update. We're going to be doing this every day now. And don't forget, I'm live every single night with creative live songwriting and comedy and live comedy news. We do that every single night at 10 o'clock. So here's this graph. I'm going to pull it up. I want you guys to take a look at it with me, and then we're going to start kind of dissecting it. And again, if you were on TikTok, head over to YouTube. The link is right under my photo. That didn't work. The link is under my photo. Okay, there we go. I guess I have to close this first, maybe? I don't know. There we go. All right, so Joanne, why am I not on the screen? I was on the screen, and now I'm not. Oh, thank you, Joanne. She got me back on the screen, guys. If you go over to YouTube, you'll see the story behind me, the graph right behind me. And again, this is the Fred fixed rate mortgage average in the U.S. over the last 20 years. And I want to look closer at this because we're all very, very nervous about rates. What's happening to the mortgage rates? I think what happened, and someone out there who knows more, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the last bump from the Fed affected auto loans, credit card loans, but it seemed to have the opposite effect on the real estate market. So July, let's just look at this. June 16th, June 23rd was our high, 5.81% on June 23rd. Do you guys know how many houses went over asking price between June 23rd and July, let's call it 30th? People were still overbidding until July 30th. All of a sudden, August hits. The market's dropping. Fed boosted up 0.75 basis points. Then why the heck on August 4th are we at 4.99%? Guys, we are at 4.99% on August 4th after the hike from the Fed. Now let's take that 4.99. When's the last time it was 4.99? How about April 14th? It was 5% on April 14th. So just to wrap your head around this, from April 14th through July 30th, the rates were higher than they are today. And people were bidding up houses. From April 14th through July 30th, people were overbidding on homes and they were paying a higher rate than they would right now today if they put an offer in on a home today. So let's get out there. If you're considering buying a home, this is your first opportunity in 2 years to get in there without a bidding war. First opportunity. And I have a few clients who literally for the last 2.5 years have lost on so many homes. Every time they put a bid, somebody else is bidding them up and destroying. They're gone. They have to go and put their bid on another property. 3 years of it. And I don't see that changing like this, especially if the rates are 4.99%. So when we go back up to 5.8, which is going to happen after this next boost, but for this next 2.5, 3 weeks, you guys have an opportunity. If you're a buyer and you're not out there and you're not trying to take advantage of this this closing window. Oh man, it was 5% on April 15th. July 21st, 5.44. And then it's been dropping since, guys. It's been dropping down to 4.99. I wonder what today is. Let's see. Let's just open this up and see if we can get today's average. Today's mortgage rates. We are looking at, can we freaking get some mortgage rates here? What are we talking about over here? 5 hours ago. Let's see what they say on Business Insider. Okay. Average 30-year fixed rates have been hovering just above 5%, which is higher than they were last week, but lower than they were throughout July. Look at this. Bill Krasnor, my brother over here on LinkedIn, just sent me a note. 30-year fixed is at 4.875% today, guys. 4.875. It was 4.99 on April 14th. 5.0. I'm sorry. It's 5.0 on April 14th. What are we doing? If you're not out there calling me right now to go and see homes, what are we talking about? If you are a seller right now, you should be hitting the market because over the next 3 weeks, buyers are going to be flooding it when they see that they're paying lower than they had in the last 3 months when people were overbidding and freaking in 30-person bidding wars. This is your moment. For 2+ years, you've been losing on bidding wars. This is your moment to get the house. But don't be foolish. Don't be the buyer who's going to go out there and say, I can get it under asking price. You freaking can't yet. There's nothing on the market. Nothing on the market. So you have to remember when you're on a limited supply and rates are down essentially from where they were at their highest just 2 months ago, this is your opportunity because most of these sellers are still thinking, hey, I'm in trouble. This market's shifting. Everybody's clearly talking about a market shift. So, look at this. You guys see this? The fixed rate was at 5.81 on June 23rd, and it's back. We have it at 5.3 on July 28th. Look at all this. This is 30-year fixed today is 4.91. Bill's got a better rate for you if you guys need it. 4.91%. That's massive. I was thinking 6. I don't know why I had 6 in my head from when they bumped it up originally, but it seems to me what's going on is a big head fake. You know, you've got the Fed trying to tell people to cool off, the bidding wars, and real estate's got to take a little back seat. Well, then why the frig are the real estate rates going down and you're telling everybody that you've raised rates? This is when you realize that the Fed is not tied in to the mortgage rate. I don't think it has anything to do with it. If it did, we would have seen a bump on 0.75. They went up and we went down. Buyers are still thinking, we went up. We went up. No, you freaking didn't. You went down. Real estate buyers, your rates went down, not up. Let's get out there. Like this is your time. I don't even know how many times I have to say it, but with the couple of clients I had that couldn't get homes for 2+ years, this is your time. Well, that's the other thing too. MRAC says the best bet is to hold out and let those prices crash. That is the other option. You could, here's the thing. There are people in every marketplace that need to buy and sell. All right. That doesn't change. You could be in the worst market in history. There will still be buyers and sellers. So if you could hold out and wait for things to shift and wait for the market to crash, I'm not sure what it seems to me that if that was going to happen, it probably would have happened with these first couple of boosts from the Fed. But in fact, I'm going to show you what happened here yesterday. Dow Jones jumps 500 points. NASDAQ surges 2% as investors cheer lighter than expected inflation report. Well, so stocks rose sharply on Wednesday after a key inflation reading showed a better than expected slowdown for rising prices. The Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped 513 points, or roughly 1.6%. The S&P 500 gained 1.7% and hit its highest level since early May. Stock market's looking good, guys. So yeah, obviously things move up and down, but what they're doing is having the effect they were hoping. So I'm not sure if we're going to see this doom and gloom everybody's thinking. So take advantage of your 4.78% mortgage rate. Give me a call. Let's go out and see some homes and lock something in while you can get that today. I'm available. It's 11:22. I got some time still the rest of the day. If you're in Connecticut or New York, let's friggin' get out there. If you're not, shoot me a note and I will help you find the greatest agent out there. Guys, I'm thinking about opening up Zoom if anybody wants to come on and chat with me about this and give me their perspective. Unfortunately, here on TikTok, I'm not able to bring everybody into the OBS feed. I wish I was able to, but TikTok doesn't allow me to run the feed through OBS so I can be here, all in one. That would be amazing if I could have you guys in the stream so you can get HD and you can have a full screen. But it's not like that. And honestly, I like the way TikTok's set up because I could actually just take people on and do, calls directly through TikTok and run it through OBS, but I'm just not able to get like an RTMP feed. I wish I knew what my RTMP was for my channel on TikTok, and I'd run it through OBS because honestly, I don't like the fact that I lose my phone to have TikTok watching, and I'd love to be taking phone calls on Google Voice right now. Just the desktop's not working for that. It only seems to work through my phone. So we can't take phone calls today. What we can do, start the virtual camera, is we can open up Zoom if anybody wants to call in. Justin, how are you, my friend? It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us over on LinkedIn. I've been live on LinkedIn now for probably 100, 200 days in a row. We're live every night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. And your client has been... Okay, thank you. I'm going to just put this new meeting on just in case anybody wants to call in. Justin, if you want to call in, anybody wants to call in, this is something I haven't done in a while. But we're going to start taking phone calls probably on a daily basis. I want to get people involved in what we do here. We're trying to bring the world together, and I'm entertaining you on a daily basis. But I think what we need to do is really start to connect online. You guys can ask me, well, what the hell who would go live for 1,319 days in a row? It's a good question. Here's the invite link if anybody wants to jump in. I don't even know if that works. Right there, that's the link. And when you click that, I believe that the password is FAM. Let me just check real quick and make sure it's FAM. Hold on, no. All right, here we go. Where's my password? I'm copying the invite link. Let's see if that's any different. That looks like the same thing. Hopefully that brings you right in. If it doesn't, let me know, and I will try to fix it. Or does it show me where my password is? I don't even know. I don't use Zoom enough. That's the thing. These calls get to be pretty fun though when we do have them because it could really be about anything. It doesn't have to be about the market. What's important is to just have a conversation with you guys and connect. Been here for 3+ years every day. I think I really would like to hear more from you guys. What kind of content you enjoy that I make? Maybe you'd like to see me do other things. So that's what's beautiful about taking calls like this, as we can actually communicate a little bit. So outside of that, I'll wait to see if anybody actually pops in. Oh, Justin. Okay. So I guess that's not showing up on LinkedIn. Let me see if I can go over to LinkedIn and pop this in. You know, some of these feeds connect and a lot of them apparently don't. So LinkedIn doesn't get any notes when I send it. I didn't realize that till right now. Thank you for letting me know though, brother. Are you guys seeing this? I think I've took it off the screen. Oh, no, there we go. Check this out, guys. While I get this over to Justin, I started a new YouTube series called Get to Know America. If you haven't seen it yet, there's about 6 or 7 episodes up. And the bottom line is I go into a new town. I meet the people. I have a conversation with the representatives in that town. And then I dig into the 300-400 years of history underneath our feet. You know, I did New Canaan a couple weeks ago. I did Wilton, did Ridgefield, did Greenwich, I did Fairfield. And I'm in the process still of working out Norwalk. I kind of put a pause on it for about a month. It's a lot, guys. I can't. I need a producer to say, I like what you're doing. Here's some money. Keep going. Because I can't, guys. I'm a real estate agent. That's why I got to make a living. I can't freaking keep doing all this ridiculously awesome stuff that nobody sees. So if somebody likes it, freaking go watch it and let me know. There's a whole new YouTube channel for it. It's called Get to Know America. And I believe we only have 101 subscribers. So if you head over there, that would be awesome if you sub to that. And again, it's 21 minutes an episode, 23 minutes an episode. And I'm meeting people, having conversations with business owners, meeting the first selectmen or first select women. And then going to the historical societies in each of these towns has been my favorite thing. Getting in there and having this renewed interest. I don't even think I ever had an interest in history. And now I'm like so interested in all the history around me. And it kind of baffles me that I never walked into these historical societies and now all of a sudden I'm going to them, you know, and I'm loving it. So if you have a chance, go check out Get to Know America. I'm going to see if I can get over to LinkedIn real quick. Let me go back to the Dow Jones story and switch that. I'm not sure if LinkedIn will let me in, because I haven't logged in there in a little bit. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if this works. It's going to ask me to. Yeah, this is the good thing when you do a two-factor authorization. Make sure you do two-factor on everything, guys. You do not want anybody getting into any of your freaking accounts. Two-factor the mo. You know what I mean? Two-factor the mo. All right, here we go. I'm going to see if I can get to my feed live. If it will. This is the beautiful thing. I'm on my own LinkedIn, and it doesn't even show me that I'm live. Okay, can we I'm live right now. They don't even show it. Oh my goodness. This is my favorite thing about all social media platforms. Whenever Mark Pires is live, you will never know about it. Oh, the fear. Oh goodness. Here we go. I found it. The fear though. What is he going to say? He doesn't have a script. All right, I'm going in here. I'm dropping this in here for Bill and for Justin. Here's the link to the Zoom call. If FAM doesn't work for the password, try. I think it should be FAM. I'm pretty sure it's FAM. But that's the link if anybody wants to call in. Let me get over to this screen real quick. Like you guys are seeing over on TikTok. This is interesting. Kevin O'Leary. I love Kevin O'Leary. He's an entrepreneur. You know, this guy's amazing. Mr. Wonderful. He's freaking nuts too. He's also a guitar player. I got to get him a beat seat somehow. If you guys don't know, I'm the inventor of the beat seat. It's the first drum for singer-songwriters. I patented it, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. See, I love this new setup where I'm on the screen and we can look at these things together. This is my invention right here. I created it in 2011 and I patented it. It's the drum you play with your hands and feet at the same time. And that's her, H.E.R, sitting on it. And I built her that one that's on under her right there right before the pandemic, actually. I drove to New York City. This was crazy. New York City was like, nobody could come to New York City unless you're fully bugabooed. And I was like, I'm not freaking getting bugabooed. So I drove in stealth, had my mask on and everything, and I brought her a beat seat. My brother Justin Blumgren's calling. We're going to see him get him on right now. Let me bring this down real quick and get over to Zoom. What's this? Why is this in the way? It's Ghislaine. All right, there we go. So let's see if we can do this. Justin, my brother. I have to bring this down real quick and get over to Zoom. I'm getting some feedback. Is that from you? Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Hold on. Let me mute you on
YouTube is probably the best way.
How's this? Better?
I think so. I think so. I don't hear a thing anymore. How are you? Oh
All
my
right, great.
goodness.
Hey, pal.
It's been way too long since I've seen you, bud.
I know it's so good to see you.
I know, seriously. I mean, this is the first time we've had a chat on the online before, but
Very long time.
how are you
So
doing? Actually, I think last time we did connect, you were going through a lot, and and then I saw a couple messages where you seemed like you were freaking roaring and doing your thing.
thanks,
And
man.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm back. I got divorced a couple years ago, which was, a shock
yeah,
to the family and everything else, and obviously really challenging. But happy to report spending so much time with my son, who's my hero and my best friend, Chase,
that's
who will
amazing.
be 9 in November. And I'm just so proud of you and knowing you, for basically my entire life growing up in New Canaan and watching you play the guitar when we were in high school and seeing you do all these things. And now watching you do this every day for 3 years. I mean, it's great. And I follow you all over the place and it's fun to be a part of it for 2 seconds.
You're amazing. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. It's been a journey. It really has, especially if you think about the arc of, figuring out who you are in life
Yep.
and then
Yep.
trusting it. And even when it's a hard thing, because you can't, I think it's a weird time we're living in. Like, I feel like if I was doing what I'm doing 20 years ago, we'd have the whole world tuning in.
Yep.
But because of the narrative that's out there, they kind of fear live in the moment entertainment. And so I think they shy away from keeping people from the show, which is sad. But when I connected with you and when I connect with other people who are out there and actually recognizing what's going on here, it means a lot to me because I am doing it for the planet. It's like when this whole thing with race came up a few years ago and everybody's like, oh, everyone's racist. I was like, I had a few people even come on like for whatever reason, something I say is pretty passionate and they say, you're racist. And I say, I didn't start my show for the white people. You know what I
What?
mean?
And also, I'm not saying this to hard stop you, just to add in something. I think what I'm seeing right now, just my perception of what's happening is there's a lot of everyone, the powers that be are trying to separate us, keep us divided. And, it's whether it's color or, gun things or, viruses or whatever else it is, it's trying to separate us from each other
Oh
so
yeah.
that we can't share these things. And I believe the truth isn't taught, it's felt. And
So
the
true.
things that you're doing and other people that are just trying to get people to think a little differently is so worthwhile, so valid, so necessary, and so important. Have people think for themselves, and not just,
Yeah.
look at the opinions that are being thrust upon them and say, you have to choose Coke and Pepsi. No, there's other options.
So many other options, but it's a weird thing when they only give you Coke or Pepsi, isn't it?
Well, it's manufactured consent, like Noam Chomsky said, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
it's one of
true.
my favorite things is that, it's giving you only two options, like you said, to your point. That's not options. That's not freedom.
No, no, it's not. It's control. And that's where we start breaking down a lot of the stuff here. Like I started thinking about, okay, if we take on just that word control and we start just extrapolate how long that control has been, on top of us. It's a mechanism,
Long time.
yeah. And then I started thinking about how like we don't talk about religion on my show because I'm at the basis of it all, love and
All right.
connection. And so it's like, okay, no matter what religion you're in, you could connect here, and that's the point. Religion divides us, and I'm like, oh man, all this is intended to keep people from each other, and it's like, it just makes me sad because I realize, we come from one energy source, and then we split into 7.7 billion and then we go back to that energy source as one again.
Yeah.
But here we're like, I hate you because your opinion's different than mine. Like, what?
It's crazy. It's like, no, we need to be working together. We need to be getting out of this headspace, which lies to you, which is like fear, fear, fear. You're going to fall off the cliff and die. Get into your heart, where you
Right.
understand, like you said, we all come from the same place. Doesn't matter what we say, look like, our language. And it's time to just help people. And
So true.
that's what's going to change things. It starts with us inside, holding the mirror up, saying, are you comfortable with your own emotions and the emotions of others? Have you put yourself in enough experiences in life where you're not just looking at movies and television and saying I'd be afraid of everything. So I love what you're doing, brother. And I'm so happy to see you doing so well and to be able to see pictures of your family every once in a while. And I'm just along for the ride. And I only have a couple minutes here, but thank you so much for letting me pop in.
Oh, brother, I
And
appreciate you. I love
Just
you,
good
bro.
to see you.
I really do.
I love you, man, and I miss you.
I miss you too. Whenever you're back in the area, I mean, I'm in Fairfield, so whenever you come back, we got to catch up. We'll go out and grab a
Please.
bite and just have a little chat. Maybe we'll go live on that one, guys. We'll do a little.
Can we?
Yeah, it'd be
Let's do
awesome.
it.
It'd be so much fun. Are you kidding?
Let's do it.
Oh man, and please, even offline, because we used to connect a lot offline, and we just throw each other some positive notes in order to help each other through whatever's going on in life. And please don't forget that. Whenever you have anything going on, I'm here, brother. Always here for you.
Me too. And I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Oh,
I've
okay.
kind of taken a break from Facebook, but I'm on Insta. So I will reinstitute those messages, and I please do the same because I love them. I
Thank
thrive
you.
on that.
I think I changed my name on Instagram to Mr. Live Creation because I was trying to. I thought
That's cool.
for a second maybe my name was the suppression. Like whenever my name shows up, they're like, oh, okay, let's pull this. So I changed to Mr. Live Creation, and all of a sudden on TikTok we got up to 13,000 followers. So I'm like, maybe I'm right. Maybe my name is the problem. And then I'm like, I don't know if I should switch back or just stay with Mr. Live Creation over there. You know what I mean?
Good A/B test.
Yeah.
I'm in the market research industry, so good A/B testing. I would say keep going with it because you're getting a big audience. So try it on everything.
Well, I need to talk to you offline. So here's one A/B test I came up with. I know you're limited. So I started Get to Know America, which is the new channel where I'm going into a new town each week. And so I thought it was weird how I put the new episode of Get to Know Ridgefield, Connecticut up, and I had like 32 views. Now I got 10,500 subscribers on YouTube. Nothing ever sees more than 30 or 40 views when I post on YouTube on that channel. I don't know why. 30, 80, somewhere in that range. Okay. I posted the same clip on Get to Know America with 27 subscribers and I had 57 views. So right there, I knew my channel, Mark Pires Renaissance Man, is suppressed. Like no matter what I put out.
Definitely is. I would say, and I know you're doing this, but I would say try to get more people like me and people that love you and care about you that want to see you be successful to share it like you were doing. Okay. And maybe try that. I'll also, if you'd like, I'll float this by a couple friends that do social media that are like professionals that I don't even know what it's called, but figuring out the ad, testing stuff and then the message testing.
Yeah. So
I'll reach out to them and see if there's any clarity they can bring on that specific issue and see if I can help you.
You're the best. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, dude, you're the best. Hugs, man. Love you. Have a great day. Thanks for this.
Sending you love, my brother.
Virtual hug. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Love you, bro. I'll see you soon, okay? Guys, Justin Blumgren, my brother in the house. So freaking awesome. Oh, Rad. Goodness. All right, let's see. We also have, I want to say we have more calls here. I think Bill Krasnor was here. I think I may have shut off the feed by accident. Hold on, I'm on that. That was so cool to have Justin on. Guys, you know what it is you connect with a lot of people in life, okay? But a lot of times what happens is you're busy. You're busy with everything that's going on in life, and you don't have a chance to catch up with people as often as you'd like, But when you do, it really means a lot. It really does. Let me see if I can go back over to my main page until we get another Zoom call. Oh, that's why I got this on. That's why. Got the double-decker me on, you know what I mean? So, guys, very cool to get Justin on the line with me. And if you do want to call in, the Zoom link is still there for you on YouTube, on Facebook, and LinkedIn. And let's see if Bill's still here. I see this. I don't know. Is Bill still here? Oh, Bill's here. Okay, let me see if I can put Bill on. Guys, we're getting a little mortgage broker perspective here. How about that? Little mortgage broker perspective. Bill, are you there? Let me see if I can get, I'll ask you to start the video. Oh, hold on. I got to go back to my main page here. Bill, are you there? There he is.
How are you?
Hey, buddy. Long time no see.
I was in my office yesterday, and all of a sudden my phone is dinging. It's like Mark is on live, and I'm like, let's check this out. This is great.
It actually tells me something because I've been live on LinkedIn for a while, but it's late. It's always like 10:30 at night. Right. But I think that proves that I have to go live on LinkedIn and like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning because people are actually on LinkedIn at that point, At night, doesn't seem like anybody even knows I'm on because most people are probably not at 10, 11 o'clock at night going on LinkedIn. You know what I mean?
Find out what your real feed is, whether it's Zoom or whatever the main thing is, so I can, because on the phone, I was getting a little delayed. I couldn't get it bogged out yesterday. So I heard your shout out only when I heard it, when I showed it to Jen and played it again for Jen. So thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's so basically I'm on YouTube, on Facebook, LinkedIn now, apparently, Twitch, D Live, and I think Trovo, a few other channels randomly, and then we're live on TikTok as well right now.
Yeah.
And so basically the show's been live 1,319 days in a row. It's the
Amazing.
longest, I think it's the longest running show on earth, I think. I don't know, because Guinness said that we don't know how to catalog that. I said, what the I started on December 31st.
How do you have time for all this? You got your day job, you got your invention, you got all your family, you got all this going on all at the same time. I can't do it.
It's a little weird, like my wife even said that. She goes like, when's enough? Like, when are you going to be like, okay, like it didn't connect, like you tried and it didn't connect. And I'm like, I don't quit, first of all. But secondly, I can't look at the suppression that this show's received over the last 3 years and say, okay, I gave it a shot, because no one in the world has seen what I do. I'm just here every day for the people who do know I exist, but they've made it very hard for other people to find me, which is weird. But I think sometimes I'm like, man, maybe if I just did real estate, every day, then we'd be like in front of everybody. But when you touch on any topics that are against the grade in 2020 through 2022, they'll put you in a hole. And so that's kind of the weird thing with this reality. But I just don't know how to quit, so I keep showing up anyway. And now it's like I've got this small group of people who show up every day, and now they need the show just as much. And they're like, thank you. I didn't know what I would have done over the pandemic if you weren't here every single day. Yeah. And so it's a sad thing that there were billions of people out there that didn't know I was here every day during the pandemic for them. But I have been, and I'll continue to be here every day. But that's why I'm usually late, very late in the day, Bill, is because I've got a real estate business to run. I've got my family. I don't want to lose that time, so I spend all of it with them. And I'm also putting out comedy news throughout the day. So there's a lot of weird stuff, finding these moments. But I'm talking to this guy recently. He said, how do you find the time? And I said, I hope you guys don't think I spend like a lot of time on these little clips I put out. It's a one take. Everything's a one take. I literally push record and I say something funny, and then I take 3 seconds to edit it and I pop it out there. So I'm not spending a ton of time doing the little comedy news stuff. The time is really at night when I come on at 10:30 and we're doing an hour or doing a half hour. That's the real time. But I could do that because it's after everyone's asleep. You know what I mean? So that's the only positive I would say. But my wife's right about one thing. To do something this long and not make money for it is just stupid. I'm just an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand what it means to quit. And so I do believe that there is a finish line somewhere where a producer or someone comes along and says, this guy, why is he not in front of more people? Or I like that he shows up every day, or he writes a lot of cool music, or he's funny, whatever it is. And let's see more. And I'll just keep showing up until that happens.
Well, I like the other podcast you're doing, because you're really keying it into the towns and the business.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I really see that. And that, you get a following for that of people who are looking, or people who want to move to the area. I think that'd be great.
I think you're right. And I got to get back onto I was trying to do one every Sunday, and it just became so much work. I'm out there filming all week, but I'm like, I need to make a living. Like, if there was a dude who was like, hey, bud, here's $500K, go and hit every single town in the state. Don't worry about real estate. Here's $500,000 to go do it. I'd be like, I'll go every day for the rest of my life and film this show.
Right.
But I can't go film the show and miss out on those opportunities to find business and make money for my family. So there's a weird disconnect right now where I'm creating pretty cool stuff, but I can't find a way to connect with the funding for it, so to speak. So we'll see. But I do like
connect offline. Have lunch, coffee, and really talk and see what's going on with each other. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, we have to connect. I mean, it's been a while since we did a transaction together, and I think the market has definitely been very interesting. I'd love to see, especially since we're, this intended to start off as a real estate rate show, just to talk about how things are not the way buyers perceive them. I got a few buyers who, one lost out in a bidding war again last week, where the house was on for 46 days. They're like, the market shifted. I can go in under asking price. Right. And what do you know? 2 offers came in right afterwards, and they lost. And we're not there yet, guys, especially when we have very, very limited inventory in the area. So what's your take on it? And where do you think things are going in the next 3 to 5 weeks with the rate that they're talking about, the 1 point that's coming up?
Yeah, well, what I was so surprised about is, and I'm going back in the big picture, why did mortgage rates go up so quickly? And they really started going up in December. I think that's the time when the market always knows better than people does. And so the yield on the 10-year treasury started shooting up. And that's really what your clients should watch for. And that's what you mentioned yesterday as well.
The yield,
but it started
okay.
shooting up, and then mortgage rates went up as well. Most of the mortgage rates up to, the conforming rates are all set by Fannie and Freddie. And so, where do I see things going? I think things are ticking down. I think with the gas prices coming down, I think that's very good for inflation. The inflation month to month was 0, the number that came out yesterday from month to month. And so I think in last December, they expected the 30-year fix to be 3.375 this year. And as you mentioned a few weeks ago, we were in the high fives. And now we're at 4.875 with no points, no prepayment penalties, of course. And so things are coming down. I think we might hang out here for a few months.
Really?
In this area of like high fours, low fives, depending on where the market goes. I think the 3/4 point, the 2 3/4 point rate increases were sort of built in. What I was trying to say was I think the big increase in interest rates preceded and was knowing that the Fed was going to raise.
I see.
So I think that all happened first with mortgage rates, and all that's happening now with the Fed is all built into the market.
That makes a lot of sense. So so what I was saying, I was kind of sort of saying it, but not fully, is basically they built this one in at the beginning, and that's why it's been dropping steadily.
Yep. So I think, the next one may be a 0.5 point, but I think it's going to be lower than 3/4. I think we're done with that for now. I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could only, we're going to have to sit and wait and see what they do. But I feel like I'm seeing a shift in the mentality just based on them doing these things, coming out and saying, hey, we're raising rates. People just automatically assume that affects them, and it really doesn't. And you said it's the 10-year that really affects it. So, so if the rate goes up another point, you still want to forget about that and look at the 10-year.
Yeah, for the Fed funds rate, because the Fed funds rate is what the Fed sets. The prime rate is Fed funds +3. So if you're doing a home equity line of credit behind a first mortgage, that is based on the Fed funds rate. That does change. The prime rate changes when Fed funds changes. But, if you could get a 30-year fixed at the high 4s or 5%, that's still historically very, very, very low. And why I think there's less inventory this spring than in past is all the people that have refinanced during COVID, they've all refinanced to very low rates. And the problem is those people who are normally would sell and get out of Dodge, anywhere they go is going to be more expensive, maybe than where they currently are. New furniture, new unknowns of roofs and other appliances, and I think people like to be where they are at this point.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to see if I can get tricky here and pop a little background on, so we're not looking like weird with this. I got this background here that's not very good. It's like there's no background here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to give you a background, or us a background here.
Right.
So at least we look normal, and I'm almost there. I was hoping you'd keep talking.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit more about, so I want to ask you one question. Okay. From April 13th, which is my birthday, through July 3rd, let's call it 30th, the rates were higher than they were today, right?
Absolutely. So there's a client who, for example, I locked in about 45 days ago, and I thought that I was doing so great by getting them 5.75%. And I'm going to be able to float them down to about 5 1/8.
Wow.
They're going to close by the end of August, and it'll be great.
So that's a huge difference right there.
Yeah. For them, it'll be huge. 5/8 of a point, floating down, and from where you started to where you're finishing is great.
I think that's amazing. That is amazing. So without further ado, Bill, look what I just worked out. I mean, it took me a couple seconds here because I was trying to open it up on Photoshop. Let's see, where is it? Come on, I just saved it. There we go. Let's see if this worked. Guys. Is this better? Of course it didn't work. Oh, you know why? It's not in the right spot. I didn't realize this. Hold on, if I bring it up here, I think it will work. There we go, Bill. That's how we do it. This is called the Renaissance Man background. And I threw your name underneath. See that? That's how we do it.
I don't see it.
Just take a second.
I'm on Zoom.
Oh, you're on Zoom? Oh, you got to just pop on YouTube. You'll see it.
Okay.
And if you go to Mark Pires Renaissance Man on YouTube, you'll see it. But yeah, I have this background here that I made, and I throw the names of everybody underneath. I should figure out how to get it onto Zoom as well, but I'm just not that good at that, Bill, you know. So yeah, rates are okay, better today than they were April through July. And I was witnessing people paying hundreds of thousands of dollars over asking price between April and July. And
Right.
now all of a sudden, the market shift. There's no market. We're lower today.
Well, anytime,
Lower today.
I mean, you know that anytime someone tries to time the market, they just can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's not really an objective purchase. It's very a subjective purpose. A home is not it is an investment, but it's really something to add to your life.
Yeah.
It adds to your happiness.
So
You know,
true.
when you go into your backyard, or when you get up and you go into this, you know, what feels really good to you. I mean, that makes you feel good. And that's, you know, get out of your 600 square foot apartment and get into a house that gives you the enjoyment that we all deserve, right?
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. You know, I also have this mentality, and tell me if you agree. But if you're in a negotiation with a seller, and
Right.
for example, the house is $1.5 million, and you're at 1.430. Okay, there's a $70,000 delta between you and this seller, and that seller doesn't want to come down in price, but you want that house. Your rates today are lower than they were for the last 3 months. You think the market shift, but then you learn that these rates are lower. It's the onus, I believe, is on the buyer to cover that difference because it's a mortgage. You're taking the bank's money to cover that 70, but the seller has to say no to $70,000 of hard cash in their pocket because you don't want to have the bank cover that difference, you know? And I feel
Right.
like because of where we are right now, you should think this way if you're a savvy buyer. Okay, I may be able to pay full ask for this, and I don't have 15 other offers to fight against. And my rates are lower today than they were when all those people were fighting against each other. Right? Shouldn't they be thinking like this a little bit more?
They should be thinking of, yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I had a lot of clients, I write a lot of pre-qualification letters, pre-approval letters to go along with offers. And there were clients I was writing, you know, an offer, 3 offers a week, 3 letters a week to go along with their offers. And now it's like, you know, it's a lot less frustrating for buyers. Buyers were signing new leases to stay where they were
Yeah.
because they just had enough. They get emotionally invested in the house they're looking at. And now it's really, you know, the stress isn't as much there. If you bid aggressively, if you bid as if you want the house, and you say, look, I want the house, this is going to make me happy, you know, I'll be able to do it. And yeah, it's very much worth it.
I think, yeah. And you know, obviously we could be going into a shift where houses, everything drops, prices drop. But I feel like with the way things are looking right now and your thoughts on the rates maybe stabilizing in the 4s for at least a little while,
Yeah.
that we could see another boom, especially when they start talking about that 1 point at the end of this month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for like that week, someone brought up a good point. They said the week leading up to that 3/4 a point, people were throwing bids like crazy because they're like, the rates are going to go up.
Right.
And now they're lower because my guy, this is the only reason I was put onto this, Bill, is my guy calls me, who's with Chase Private. He's got this, Chase Private deal. And he's like, I can't believe this. The rate went up last week, and my rates to buy the home would be cheaper today though than last week before the rate went up. And I was like,
Right.
no. And that's when I started looking, and then I asked a couple questions, and people were like, yeah, no, it's counterintuitive, but you know, auto rates went up and
Right,
credit
right,
cards went
yeah.
up. And I'm like, well, why are buyers thinking that they're in some sort of like buyer's market all of a sudden then, you know? It's like a lot of it has to do with the fake, you know, I call it, it's all propaganda. I remember saying for a while, as soon as you start seeing 51% or more of negative stories about the economy, we're done. And now all you see is 60 to 70% of negative stories, you know? And there's
Well, I also think the news is always a few weeks behind, especially when it comes to mortgage rates.
Hmm.
You know, we get calls all the time saying, I heard rates dropped. And I'm like, well, that was
last
that,
week, 2 weeks ago.
that's the survey that they did 2 weeks ago. You know, or her rates went up. No, rates have actually gone down. That survey was done last week and it's being reported now. So, I mean, as you know, we're a broker. We work with many, many different banks. So we can mix and match each bank and put each client with the bank that has the lowest rate that fits their underwriting needs. And there are some banks who just say, look, I don't want any new business. I'm too busy. And they raise rates. other banks just get hungry too. And that's what's happening as well, is that banks that are not as busy because they hired lots of people last year when they were doing refinances, and now they're not as busy, but they've got all the people still, and they don't want to lay off the people, so they lower rates to get more market share. And so that's what's happening as well when it comes to lower mortgage rates, especially for jumbo.
And someone like Bill's, there's an advantage because when Bill's out there scouting the different banks that are out and offering the products, and you're looking for something that's the best possible rate, that's what Bill can give you. Yeah, and if you guys are looking for any mortgage assistance, shoot me a note offline and I'll get you Bill's info. And same thing if you need any real estate assistance. This is what I do every day of my life. And whether you're in New York or Connecticut, I could personally work with you. If you're not, I can help you find the greatest agent outside of the states. And yeah, Bill, I appreciate you coming on. We should do this again more often. I'm going to be trying to do this every day, coming on and doing some sort of market update, because I feel like it's something I should have been doing from the beginning, and they're just going to get better. I'm going to start bringing in different people all left and right and do these Zoom calls and start to get a little bit more clarity, because we're going to have to start talking our way through this economy in the next couple months. That's why I started to get to know America. I was like, look, I walked into Ridgefield. They're like, what are you doing? New Canaan was like, what are you doing? I said, do you guys realize right now people are buying homes first weekend? You're going to have to start selling your towns again.
Yeah.
You may not think you do. You may, oh, look, we're beep. Do you remember what it was like before the pandemic? Because I do. I remember I had great homes nobody would buy. So don't tell me that you're good and Connecticut's great and everybody wants to come to Connecticut, because as soon as things shift and people can go and choose some place where taxes are a little less, or there's many reasons to go places, but there's also a lot of reasons
much
to not
lower
go.
here than they are in New York State.
Here in New Jersey's bad now too, I heard.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Connecticut is really good for real estate taxes.
compared to New York specifically.
New York. New York's taxes are about 3 times as much as they are here.
3 times? Wow.
Depends on the town, but yeah.
I know Rye is pretty insane. Like if you're not buying in Greenwich, Connecticut, and you're buying in Rye, I have to question your sanity. Like it's $40,000 to $50,000 a year for
closing costs are so much less in Connecticut. New York State has a mortgage tax. So in Westchester County, you pay 1.05% of the amount of the mortgage to New York State as a tax. Connecticut has 0. And then there's the mansion tax in New York as well. Once you cross $1 million, you're paying $10,000 to the state of New York. 1%. Connecticut doesn't have that at all. So the closing costs are significantly less in Connecticut.
So guys, let's focus on Connecticut. I'm here. Let's make it happen. There's lots of little towns, little freaking hamlets in the state of Connecticut. Did you know George Washington spent some time freaking Fairfield? It's in Get to Know Fairfield, Connecticut. Bill, so I appreciate you, brother. Right. Let's get you on again soon. Thank you so much for your insight and information. I'm sure everybody out there appreciates it. And guys, remember, if you're looking for a mortgage or if you're looking to refinance it, I'll shoot me a message and I'll get you in touch with Bill Krasnor. And Bill, why don't you shoot your info out just real quick so everybody can hear it?
Sure. My name is Bill Krasnor. I own Strategy Mortgage. My direct line at the company is 203-618-4141. And my email is just bill@strategymortgage.com.
Awesome. Bill, you rock. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, bud. Hope to see you again. I'll be live tonight.
Yep.
All right. Take care.
All right. Have a good day.
Awesome. Take care, bud.
Okay.
All right, cool, guys. So we had 2 phone calls. I think that's it for the day. I do have to get going. I've got a real estate business to run, so I'm going to be heading out. But I do want you guys to understand that every day I'll be doing this, okay? Let's see. JR in the house. Sweetie Marie in the house. Good to see you. Cracker Jack, good to see you. I look like Billy on the street. Really? I look like Billy on the street? I don't think so, okay? Thank you. I think I can, I'm an impressionist, so I can do Billy on the street for sure. Excuse me, it's Billy on the street. Yeah, we could do him, Anyway, guys, how does the recession affect interest rates? Does that draw them down? That's a good question. I should have asked Bill. I didn't see that. I'm sorry, brother. But I'm pretty sure that rates, I'm hoping Bill's right and that they stay steady like this in the 4s for a while. That would be helpful for any sellers out there that are trying to make their way out of this market. And we'll see. I think it was some good information that we got from Bill for sure. moves west to east is what somebody said over here. Mark said, if you're in the industry, you know it moves west to east. You want a buyer's market, you need the crash. Housing prices outpace the middle class. Yeah, well, he's in South Carolina. Yeah, every town is going to be, and every location's different. The locale is very important. We've got a weird bubble here in the Northeast. During the recession, the last time, the crash in 2007 and 8, there was about a year of time before we felt it here in the Northeast. Houses were still selling for a few months, 6 months, 8 months, right after the crash. And then it got real bad till 2013. So, look, you've got to stay aware of what's actually happening in the marketplace. That's why I want to make sure I come on with you every single day and let you know where the rates are. We'll have some industry professional come on as well in order to talk us through some sort of, topic. And I hope this is something you'll enjoy. Maybe twice a day, we'll do a short show and have a chance to get into some real estate market information. So it's midday. It's noon. I will be back later for a very short show because it is bowling night. Oh, goodness. Fam and friends, thank you for joining me today on a real estate segment. Hope you enjoy it and come back for more tomorrow. Same time, same place, 11 o'clock-ish. We'll see. Thank you, Justin Blumgren, for coming on with me. Thank you, Bill Krasnor, for coming on with me. And hopefully we'll have some more guests tomorrow for the Zoom call-ins. I really liked the idea of doing the Google Voice call-in, just as phones, so people don't have to get on the air and be seen if they don't want to. So we'll keep trying to figure out why my desktop's not connecting. But the Zoom is an option. You can always just do audio through Zoom too. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys later. Until then. You got to go away. Superior Cat. JP just saying. Let's see, I'm trying to get this to... My laptop's not working all of a sudden. Trish Killian, JP just saying, Jesse Baker, Superior Cat. Oh, goodness, guys. Sydney, my brother. And again, Justin and Bill, thank you so much. Kill It and Grill It, thank you for joining me. And I look forward to doing this again with you guys later on. And real estate tomorrow again in the morning. Till then, it's Mark Pires. You got to go away. And it's Renaissance Man. I love you guys. See you later. You got to go away. You got to go away. I'll see you later, not tomorrow. I'll see you later.